September 23rd, 2017. I coached my daughter in her soccer game that morning, and then I took her to her first sprint car race that night, just as my dad used to do with me when I was her age. We had a blast, just me and her. We got home late, we smelled like dirt and race fuel, and memories were made. The next day changed my world. My daughter, who never gets sick, was very sick. So sick she couldn't stand up without falling over. I'm the type of parent that says just tough it out, you'll be alright. I mean, she'll get better, but she wasn't. My wife ended up taking her to the urgent care that afternoon. Fast forward a couple hours, days, and doctor's visits later, I heard the words, "Your daughter has sudden hearing loss." I've never even heard of sudden hearing loss. But it'll come back, right? You don't just lose your hearing. I was wrong. Hearing tests confirmed it, doctors showed my wife and I the reports, showed us her loss of balance, and worst of all, we were told it was permanent. No hearing aids could fix this type of impairment. I was furious at myself because I was the one who took her to that race. She also had a head collision in the soccer game. Could it be a combination of both incidents? But we wore hearing protection, we did everything right. I kept running that through my head. The doctor assured me that the race in the soccer game was not the cause. It was purely coincidence. So now what? My daughter, who is 8, now has permanent loss of hearing in her left ear, and hearing aids were not an option. I told myself, I told my family, I told my friends, I wish I could give her my hearing. I want what's best for my kids, heck for any kid. I would continue to take Nina to her regular hearing appointments where she would sit in a hearing booth and they would test her ears for any sort of improvement. After many tests and no changes, one day the audiologist called me into the room during her test. She showed me the results as they were doing the test. Nina was starting to hear certain frequencies again in her left ear. At that point, Nina had not even realized she had regained partial hearing because her mind had already adapted to relying on the other side. Through some more testing, it was confirmed some hearing was back. I was ecstatic and she was surprised. It was a great answer to many prayers. As of today, you wouldn't even be able to tell she has any sort of hearing loss. She has adapted well, and there are only a few frequencies she cannot hear. Okay, now what in the world does all this have to do with growing my hair out for 2 years? Well, you see, since that day I was told my daughter lost her hearing, I wanted to be able to give. I wanted to be able to give something I'm fortunate enough to have, yet maybe a child is not. That's where I found my opportunity. My goal is to grow my hair long enough to donate it to an organization that would then turn it into a hairpiece for a child who desires to have hair yet cannot. And so it began. The year 2019 was the beginning of my adventure. An adventure that would test my limits. You see, growing your hair out is no easy task. Many people, including men, try and fail many times, as I have. This time was different. I was looking to learn a bit of patience. I was out to conquer something I had failed so many times before. I had a goal in mind and I was not going to give up until I achieved that goal. I had always been what you call a short hair. My wife would cut my hair even when we were dating. It was just easier to keep it short. Avoid the comments of how long are you going to let your hair grow? You need a haircut. Are you trying to grow a mullet? Seriously, cut your hair. I heard them all, and many times I wanted to cave to the peer pressure. Many times I thought, I'm done, let's just shave it off. But I told myself just a couple more weeks. If I can hold off a couple more weeks and I still want to cut it, then I would. Luckily, weeks turned into months, and months turned into a year. I made it a whole year of growing my hair. That's it, I'm in deep, I cannot turn back. Look at all the days I put up hiding under a hat or slicking back my hair to try to make it look decent during the awful, awkward stages. I was on my way to becoming a long hair, a guy with long hair. Heck, there's even a community and a company called the Long Hairs, dedicated to helping guys grow out their hair. And so it was meant to be. I would continue to rock out different hairstyles along the way. Now the year 2020, the unforgettable year. The year when every guy was shaving their head because they couldn't get a haircut. And yet I had all the more reason to keep the flow going. Don't get me wrong, 2020 is a year I never want to remember or relive, but I'm thankful I was able to pursue and reach one of my life goals. Now we are a couple months into 2021. My hair is plenty long to donate, and I'm ready for a change. I'm ready for my next adventure and also my first haircut in over a year. I will soon be cutting off my hair and sending it to the Children with Hair Loss Foundation. They provide wigs to kids at no cost who have lost their hair due to cancer treatments, alopecia, and other illnesses resulting in hair loss. I am nervous, excited, but I'm grateful to be able to give. I'm not able to give a child my hearing, but I am, however, able to give a child my hair. Just as I remember on that day in 2017, I told myself I would do anything to give my daughter what she lost. I hope by giving a child the opportunity to have hair again will rebuild their happiness and boost their self-image. If you would like to donate to this wonderful organization, I have set up a fundraiser page on Facebook where all donations will go directly to the Children with Hair Loss organization and help with the cost of making the hairpiece. Thanks for listening to my story and your willingness to donate to what I feel is such an amazing and powerful cause.